of the world, now I'm living. And the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah.
Hi, it's Ann Perry, and today's topic of conversation is going to be mastering the master number 11, how to overcome the challenges. I know, I'm obsessed about the 11 energy. I'm sorry for those of you who are not 11s, but you know what, the 11s, it is my life's purpose to help you to understand the path that you're on. Whether you were born on the 11th day, whether your life path number is the 11, if your heart's desire or your expression number is an 11, this all will appeal to you. So I'm so passionate about helping you to understand why you're here, why it's a challenge, and how do we get through this together. So hang on tight. I'm going to give you some tips on how to do just that. Okay, so today we're going to be breaking it down into 5 steps to mastering the master number 11. The first one is going to be about owning it, owning the fact that you are a master number 11. The number 2 step is going to be drop that bar. Loosen up the expectations on yourself. Number 3 is, how do I protect myself? I'm sensitive, you know. How do I protect myself? I'm going to give you some really good tips on that. Number 4 is all about how to align yourself. How to align yourself in your life so that you can move through it effortlessly with less challenges. Isn't that what it's all about? And number 5 is be patient. You guys are not very patient, so I'm going to help you with that. Teach you a little bit more about how to be a bit more patient. Sounds good? Let's go. Okay, step number 1, own it. You asked to come and do your masters in this lifetime. You know, before you incarnated into this lifetime, you appealed to come and be a master number 11. And so for that reason, we know that you are an old soul. You've got tons of cellular memory that's racing around in your body that says, I know better, I got to do better, and I've done this before, and all these sorts of things that come into play. So you've got to remember that being the 11 is a challenge, but you wrote this into your soul's contract. You wrote it into your lesson plan. You asked for the lessons associated with it. And so this isn't cruel and unusual punishment. You weren't just dropped off a spaceship and landed here on the planet Earth, although I know a lot of you feel that way. I don't deny that. But the reality of it is you did ask for this, and so you are well prepared for it. I know it's a challenge, but you are much bigger than what the challenge is in itself. Acknowledge that you don't have all the answers yet, and that's okay, but you will in time. You know what? Everything you need to know, you know it right now. Everything you're ever going to need to know, you know it right in this moment, okay? Because this moment is the only moment we really truly have, right? Part of this, owning it, is making an absolute commitment to yourself that you will learn how to develop your intuitive side. You'll learn how to trust your intuition, work with it. You'll learn how to channel in some way. Find somebody who can train you, counsel you, help you to develop those skills. And honestly, you know what? The reality of it is you already have those skills, but a lot of you have shut them down since you were a child. You know, when you were playing with your invisible friends and telling your parents about, you know, buddy who was sitting next to you at the table and whatnot, and they're kind of like, you know, make it stop. You know, can you do something to make your little friends go away for now? Well, you know what? The reality of it is they're just energy, right? You see them, they're there, they're real, and you may have shut that down, but I encourage you to try and open that door back up again. Because again, you agreed to be the messenger, and how are you going to be the messenger if you keep slamming those doors, right? So part of your frustration exists from the fact that you keep shutting the doors down for fear that you're going to be judged, for fear that maybe you're going to be rejected. But life is much bigger than that. The plan that they have for you is much bigger than that. So it's an irrational fear that you're going to be rejected because of it, because the people who need to hear the messages, the people who matter the most, are waiting for them. So I would encourage you to try and develop what you can in the way of skills to continue to channel. Because, you know, there's a veil that exists between us and the other side. And for you, that veil is much thinner than it is for most of us. And the effort that it takes to learn how to channel is so minor compared to what someone like myself has to do, or, you know, Bob, Sue, or Charlie. You know, we all have to work that much harder on it. But those of you who are 11s, that's a natural skill that you have. So take advantage of it, because it is one of your gifts that you brought forward with you. Step number 2, drop the bar. drop the bar already. Learn how to set more realistic goals, for God's sakes. You guys set the bar so crazy high for yourself. And I am totally convinced that the reason for that is because you have lived so many lifetimes. You know, you have all this experience in here that says I can do better, therefore I will set the bar higher, you know. But the reality of it is you only have so many years to work with in this lifetime so far. So, you know, you're setting a bar based on what you knew back then, right? But when you get that, when your umbilical cord is cut and you're cut away from the mothership, when you come through that birth canal when you're born, you know, all the reasons that you came, you forget. It's like it's like a sci-fi movie, you know, your memory is completely erased. And that's why you struggle your whole life trying to figure it out again, because you've been abandoned, if you will, from the source where you knew it all. And now you don't. But you know that intuitively, you know that you're supposed to be doing something really terrific while you're here, and you're meant to make a big difference, and you want to leave a footprint for others to follow. You know, you want to inspire and empower people. But you set the bar so crazy high for yourself that you intimidate yourselves, and just as soon as you kind of get close to it, what do? You bounce the bar. And when you bounce the bar, you sabotage your efforts, and then you feel like a failure, right? So you got to stop doing that, because it's just, you know, how's it working for you? Because it's just, you know, it's not a good thing. So, you know, acknowledge that you do have a big job to do in this lifetime, but honor the fact that you are making a difference every single day with every person that you meet. There's a light that shines from you guys. And I'm telling you, when I do a reading, I do several readings a day. And every time I take a look at somebody, whether it's on Facebook or whether it's on Skype or wherever, I can look in your eyes and I can tell you're an 11. I can see it. There's a glossiness. There's a certain vibration to your eyes. I see it, you know? And just because I'm in this line of work, I guess I go looking for it, but others recognize it too, okay? You're special. You're different. And that's okay. It's who you are. So trying to stay present rather than projecting into the future is also a really good tip, because, you know you've got something big to do while you're here. So you put yourself under an awful lot of pressure to get a big job done, where in fact the only day you have is the one that's right in front of you, the one that you're living right now. So just try and make a difference every single day, and that's certainly going to help. Step number 3, learn how to protect yourself. Okay, it's really important for those of you who are 11s, because you have a very, very sensitive energy field. You walk into a room and you know an argument's already happened. You walk into a hotel room and you know that whatever happened in there wasn't good. You know, you just know. You feel people, you sense situations, you have premonitions. You're super, super sensitive. So it's really important for you to guard your energy field. So learning how to ground yourself through meditation is really important. Lots of deep breathing. Healing stones, you know, black obsidian is one of my favorites, along with black tourmaline is really good as well. Listening to really good music. This is really important, you know. Don't get me wrong when I'm saying rap can be a little difficult, but sometimes rap can be really dark, as can country music, right? As can be any kind of music. But rap is kind of notoriously dark. So I want you to sort of think about the kind of music that you are listening to. Does it uplift you? You know, I'm not asking you to listen to, you know, angels singing all the time, or, you know, Tchaikovsky or anything like that, unless that's your thing, right? I just want you to be aware of what you're hearing, you know, what you're listening to. If it's a really negative, sad song, if it's a really bad message, if it's kind of a dark message, turn the channel, right? Try to find something that's a little bit less assaulting. Aromatherapy is really good for you. You want to go and check out a really good certified aromatherapist to help you with that. Exercise outside, you know, raise your vibration. Do what you can to really get into some cardio every single day, because you guys need to burn off the excess energy. You've got that double once, like double lightning bolts coming through you at all times. So we need to find a way to diffuse that a bit. The other thing is to avoid too much exposure to electronics, cell phones, Wi-Fi, etc. If you guys are home, and you don't need your Wi-Fi on, turn it off. If you have your cell phone, even if it's turned off, like, don't be keeping it close to your body all the time. That is really, really difficult for those of you who are 11s. You're shorting out and you don't even know that you are. It's really taxing and draining on your energy system. For God's sakes, don't have your cell phone sitting on your night table beside your bed. I don't care if it's on or it's off, it's still transmitting. Make sure you keep that out of the way. I've also dealt with some clients that have had difficulty with alarm clocks, you know, plug-in digital type alarm clocks. Anything that's got electricity running through it is not a good idea to have it close to you while you're sleeping. You guys need downtime. Everybody does, for that matter, but in particular, 11s need some downtime. The position of your bed in your bedroom is a consideration as well, because if your head is, I know this sounds sci-fi and way out there, but I'm telling you, the environmental people will tell you I'm right. The electricity that runs through the walls into your plugs and whatnot, you don't want your head close to that. If you have a plug around you, see if you can turn your bed somewhere else in the room so that you don't have that plug there, or see if you can move the plug if it's at all possible. You just don't want that constant energy. Eating high vibrational foods like raw fruits and vegetables, very, very good for you. Anything that you cook is killing the live enzymes. It's better for you to eat raw if you can. Eat as clean as you can. Doreen Virtue wrote a really good book, and the name escapes me right now. However, if anybody can think of it, maybe you post it down below there because it's really good. It's all about eating high vibrational foods for those people who are light workers, which the 11s are. Have frequent Epsom salt baths. It really helps to diffuse all that static energy. And even if you can't have an Epsom salt bath, just have a hot bath before you go to bed at night. It's so good for you. It's so, so good for you. Get outside in nature, away from radioactivity. You know, I live in Nova Scotia, and there's a town that's not that far from me, and they have a lot of radio towers and a lot of telephone wires and that kind of stuff, a lot of satellite stuff. And there's a lot of people there that are really, really messed up. You know, they're very sick. They're sick mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I had one of my clients from that area come to me and she said, Anne, I don't understand it. She said, but everything's dying in my yard. I'm having a hard time keeping nature flowing in my yard. You know, like I'm finding dead snakes and dead toads and dead frogs, and, you know, the fish in my pond are dying, and I don't get it, right? And so there's some buildings there in that community, and I've noticed that people are putting up radioactive shields, you know, and these are people I haven't even met or talked to, but it's so obvious to me that this is a sick community. So if you're just super hypersensitive, if you're environmentally ill or whatever, you might want to give some consideration to what do you need to do to move away from an area where there's all this electrical activity going on. So any kind of radioactivity is really, really tough on your system for sure. Develop rituals for protection and use them often. And you know what? A ritual for protection could be smudging your house ceremoniously. I do it several times a week. You might want to use tingshaws, you know, the bells. You could use drumming. You could have just a simple prayer in the morning that says out to Archangel Michael, who's our protector, say, hey, you know what? I really appreciate you, and I'm grateful that you're there protecting me. Help to protect me from negative energy in my workplace and as I'm driving to work and whatever you have to do. But just develop some kind of a ritual that reminds you to ask for protection would be great. Number 4, align yourself better in your life. Learn ways to creatively deliver your message so that you can inspire and empower other people. So that might mean learning how to paint so that you can paint people's auras, you know. If that's just too out there for you, then maybe it would be simply blogging, you know, deliver a message that way. And you know what? It's not always about creating something, although the double one is double creativity. But it's just making a difference. It's just finding a way to make a difference. So before you leave for work in the morning, what could you do that would help you to make a difference in somebody's day? You know, maybe it would be taking some cookies to the school bus driver. Maybe it would be leaving something special in the mailbox for the mail lady. You know, it could be just anything, whatever. But just make a difference every day, okay? Choose your career very carefully. Anybody who has an 11 life path number is already predisposed to being able to work one-on-one with people. You know, it's that too, the 11 too, right? But it's also related to energy work as well. So massage therapy, acupuncture, any kind of counseling, any type of therapy whatsoever is really, really good for you. Very, very good choices. So, you know, in order for you to be able to do the job, you want to have the job that will allow you to do the job. The other aspect is to learn how to choose the company that you keep carefully. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you're having lunch with Debbie Downer, you know, if she's bringing you down, then maybe you need to sort of align yourself somewhere else. I'm not saying, you know, kick everybody to the curb kind of thing, but you might want to moderate how much time you spend. You know, that comes to family too. If you're visiting your mother-in-law or your father-in-law or whatever, and you know that they're really negative, you've got to understand that you can only take small doses of that, because it really assaults you. And when it assaults you energetically, it's eventually going to hit you physically, right? So, just give some consideration to the company that you keep. Take notice of what color you feel good in. And I mean, that can be to what you're wearing, but it also can be the color that you're painting your room, that you spend time in your home, the kind of car that you drive, give some consideration to that, because color holds vibration, right? I know for one that I really dislike the color red. I just don't like red, right? I look terrible in red. So why would I want to live in a room that's red, right? No, all kidding aside, it's not a comfortable color for me. So I don't particularly like to surround myself in it. So I'm really in tune with what makes me feel good and what doesn't. So I'm just asking you to do the same. Make your home your castle. Make it zen. Make it comfortable. Make it inviting, and someplace that you can go and just unwind and unplug. You guys are plugged in all the time. 11s are constantly plugged in. Their minds are going all the time. And you just need a good zen environment with which to stay comfortable in. If you can explore any kind of healing art like Reiki or healing touch or therapeutic touch, something like that, really helpful for you to be able to find a modality that allows you to flow with the energy. Creative dance is good for you. Yoga is great for you. But learning how to channel energy is really helpful because it allows it to move through you rather than getting stuck. And, prioritize some time to express yourself creatively, whatever that means to you. Just turn that into a priority, because it's like, it's important. You've come back as the double creator. So you need to find a way to express yourself. Maybe there's a modality you haven't even tried yet. Maybe it's sculpting, maybe it's photography, maybe it's writing. Whatever it is, just see if you can't allow yourself the freedom to be able to explore those options so that you can learn to be creative. Number 5, be patient. Oh my God, that's a tough one, isn't it? Learn how to surrender to the pressure that you'll feel to perform. Again, I know, I get it. You guys know that you're supposed to be doing something way bigger than what you're doing. So every relationship you get into, it's kind of like, it's good. It's great. You know what? I don't know that this is it. So yeah, maybe there's something better around the corner. So it's hard for you to kind of plug into relationships and stay, engaged. Work, same thing, learning how to surrender to the pressure to perform at work is a big one as well. Learn how to deeply breathe, right? Because it helps to keep you in the moment. It helps to keep you really centered and grounded. And it's very important that you don't get on that future train, where you're traveling down. You don't have all the answers. You don't have all the education. You don't have all the life experiences, and yet you want it right now. Whatever it is I'm supposed to be here to do, I want it right now. Even if whether you're 35 or whether you're 105, you're always going to have that feeling that I've got to do it now, right? Be patient, young grasshoppers. Just be patient. Every day, regardless of how old you are, provides an opportunity for you to inspire other people. It doesn't have to be write it on a billboard. It can be just a very simple, kind gesture where you're inspiring somebody else. Get on, if you're active on Facebook, make good use of your time on Facebook, and maybe get onto one of those quote sites and find some empowering quotes and put those out there every day. Because you know what you're doing, you're dropping a little penny in the pool. And those concentric circles, they keep flowing out from that, right? So when somebody reads that and they go, wow, that's really, really great. If they were kind of here and agitated and they read that, they're kind of like, whoa. And you know what you did? You just changed their energy field. So guess what? The person who's sitting next to them has to respond to that. They have to respond to that. That's just physics, right? If this energy field is calmer, automatically the one sitting next to them is going to be calmer, right? It's so simple. The little things that you can do to change your environment, to change the world, to change the planet, right? It doesn't have to be a certificate on the wall that says, I've accomplished this. Just remember that you can make a difference every single day. Try saying each day that you're grateful that you were, just say, I am so grateful that you are bringing me all that I need in the perfect timing for me. And then step away from the bus. Stop holding back the bus, right? Step away from the bus and let the universe bring you what it is you're meant to have. And if you can say that, bring it to me in the perfect timing for me, then you never have to wonder, am I there yet? Do I have all the information? Am I supposed to be doing something amazing right now? No, you know what? You have everything you need right now. You've got this. You have got this. You've got this to be the master of your own universe. That's my mug, by the way, and I happen to change it. It says master of the universe, and I changed it and I said, this is I want to be the master of my universe, because you know what? I'm creating my own reality. You're creating your own reality. And you know what? I live by the credo that says, as you believe, so it is. If life sucks, if you believe it does, I guess it does, right? If you think it's wonderful, if you're enjoying life and you're embracing life, I guess it's wonderful, because that's what you believe. And guess what? Your beliefs create your reality. So make it a good one. Go get yourself a mug like that. It's awesome. Okay. Thank you so much for being a part of my day today. I would love to keep in touch with you. Obviously, you know, I have a YouTube channel, so I'd love it if you would subscribe, because I am passionate about sharing this information. I hope that numerology will become your passion too. I have a really active Facebook page. I'm posting on there every single day, all things related to numerology. And I also have a website. It's www.annperrynumerologist.com. I'd love it if you would hop on over there. I do have a blog that I'm fairly active in too, and there's a newsletter there. I only send out a newsletter once a month, maybe, if I'm good. I get it out once a month, but it's a 5-minute newsletter, which just kind of keeps you informed as to what's going on. You know, if there's any specials on, there is a special on actually for readings right now, this being September of 2016. And, you know, if you're curious about anything and you'd like for me to cover it in a video, I'd love to hear from you. So send me a message. And for now, I just want to say thanks again for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again. Counting on having a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye.